Bojo anin dinemagnetuk. Nigani aki inene dishnikas. Kenyo dodem saging donjiba. Ninakoma gije manidu. Ninakoma gije meteake. Ninakoma gevino atsukanak. In the words of my language, I offered gratitude and our thankfulness to the Great Spirit, to the Spirit of Mother Earth, and to the Spirit of the Four Directions, and to the Spirit of our ancestors. As the original free and independent people of our homeland, we have been entrusted with a way of life and ancestral values, values that inspire our conduct as human beings and help bring us back to a relationship with the earth. As leaders of our homeland, it is our responsibility to live our duties and responsibilities to the land and to each other, and also to share our teachings with our brothers and sisters who have arrived on our homelands. In the ancestral ways of our nations, in the spirit that I make an appeal to all of you that are attending this special gathering, as you discuss ways and means of how we can create initiatives in taking better care of our homeland. The elders and the knowledge keepers of our nations have always advised us that it is the land that gives us freedom and a way to survive. Prophecy had foretold that we would be propelled into the forefront of a movement requiring our leadership. Our leadership would be grounded within the ways of our ancestors. We carry a knowledge and understanding that is embedded in the teachings left by our ancestors. In order for humanity to move forward, we must align ourselves with the forces of nature. For that to happen, we must have a spiritual relationship with the land. The land is a living entity with great power. She has always operated on the principle of balance and harmony. As we, as human beings, have become so unbalanced, nature and her power will help bring us back into balance. These teachings were received through having a relationship with the Spirit. It is within the spiritual realm that we believe that the higher intelligence exists. Our ancestors have always known this. This was the reason why they never overstepped the Spirit. That relationship was always honored in the ceremonies of our people. And if we are ever to find ourselves, we must return to the beginning. The beginning is the Spirit we find in ceremony and on the land. If we continue to limit ourselves to a colonial mindset, we will never find the Spirit. It is the Spirit that can help us to define the direction we need to go. As we return to actively taking care of the land, to be a voice of the land, as messengers are shared from nature itself. The land wants to talk to us, to remind us of the original instructions we were given by our great Creator. As much as we have been ripped away from the ancestral ways of our nation, there are those amongst us who have kept their language alive and who continue to hold the ceremonies of our people. These are the ones we must turn to offer guidance and direction as we find ways to return to the land. The knowledge keepers that know our traditions are fast disappearing. We have to make a concerted effort to reach out to them and also to find ways to record their teachings. As we develop our models for stewardship, allow our knowledge keepers to take a lead and help lay a foundation based on a ceremonial context. This will connect us to the Spirit and support the natural laws of the earth. We have a rare opportunity here to develop a model in the spirit of our nationhood, a model that defines our duties and responsibilities of taking care of the land. Our identity as a people is reflected in our spirituality. We are a spiritual people. Our gifts given to us by the Great Spirit, our languages, our ceremonies, our pipes, our teachings, our songs, and our way of life ensure a strong connection and relationship with the Spirit and the land. The knowledge we hold as a people is required more than ever to share with those who have arrived on our homeland. This is our duty and responsibility, to show them why we love the land so much and how we can take better care of the land. The knowledge of our natural laws and spiritual ways of connecting with the land is held by the knowledge keepers of our nation. We must now call upon them for their help, and if we do not, we will fast track ourselves into total assimilation, having lost what can give us strength and define our true identity as a people. The ways of our ancestors hold a full understanding of our interconnectedness with all of creation. Our dreams are telling us that there will be some great changes coming. The earth is about to give birth to a new life. In that new life, the earth will return us to balance. These will be difficult times for all of us. It is said that all that does not respect the laws of nature will be removed. Much of this is the technology we depend upon so much today. We must adapt to the changes that the earth will go through. We must find our way back to the land, living the values that will ensure our survival. For example, we never take more from the land than what we need as individuals. If we happen to take more than what we need, we must share it, or we become selfish and greedy. We make offerings for everything we receive from the land. We treat the animal world with absolute respect, knowing they give their life for us to live. Mostly everything our ancestors did was to honor all life in a ceremonial way. Let us seriously consider moving forward in the ways of our ancestors, beginning by including the Spirit to be in our presence as we search for a path that will take us back to the land. And this will include our sacred gifts, such as the pipe, the rattle, the drums, and there are other ways practiced by other nations. If we are going to send our youth to the land to act as caretakers, then we must be prepared. We must prepare them spiritually to learn the ways that they will be able to hear the voice of the land, spoken through nature itself. Nature has an abundance of knowledge. Young people need to be spiritually connected to the land and with their own identity before they even go to the land. Rites of passage for our young people becoming adults and leaders of our nations are very important and need to be incorporated as the foundation of their training and learning. Young people need to be initiated with the knowledge of the land. In the Anishinaabe way, our young men reaching puberty would go to the land to be initiated into adulthood by fasting for 4 days for a vision that would give him understanding of his meaning and purpose in life. Young girls entering womanhood during their first moon time would be taught by the grandmothers and the aunties, taken through their own initiation rites in which they learned their sacred role and responsibilities as life givers and as a voice for the sacredness of water. It is when we are living our responsibilities that a spiritual of unity can be realized amongst ourselves as the original peoples of our homeland. Unity can be only achieved by having a foundation of values and teachings that lead us to a common cause of taking care of the land. Expressing kindness is the simplest way to fulfilling our responsibilities, as our spiritual living laws will come to us when we reflect them. We all carry a universal purpose to bring peace and kindness into our world. Make peace with each other and make peace with the earth. There is a doorway in our hearts that needs to be opened. Mother Earth can help us open that door. We can feel the peace in nature if we listen carefully to the wind, to the birds, to the animals, and to the trees that speak directly to our hearts. May I wish you the best that Spirit and nature can offer you in your deliberations as you continue to live from your hearts and kindness. Miigwech.